Happy Halloween, everybody. Give me just a second. I got something special for the occasion right here. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and wrap up Spooky Month. I'm Shadow Stitch, and I like solo running Pokemon Black and White. So last week, we took on the game with Liepard. I had so much fun with that run, and I've actually been really looking forward to it this entire series because we incorporated some really interesting and unique strategies that pretty much only that Pokemon could do. So definitely go check out that video if you haven't already, and as we bring in the tier list, we see it actually landed a very respectable C tier placement. This is not what I was going to be expecting from this Pokemon. Definitely thought it was going to be lounging down there with some of the other stinkers that we've been doing because let's be real, it's not the best Pokemon in the world. But all the rest of the Pokemon in here do have videos on the channel. There is still a lot of re-ranks that I need to do, so go check out that playlist link down below at the end of the video and on that little iCard thing that popped up. So if you see anything that piques your interest, check that out. You can see the full catalog. But you have to stick around because today we are at long last going to be playing with the best Unova Pokemon, my baby girl, Chandelure. Yes, absolutely, this Pokemon is incredible. This is my favorite Pokemon of the entire Unova region, my second favorite Pokemon of all time. This Pokemon means a lot to me. I have used it competitively in so many freaking draft leagues that I've played in. I've used it in singles, I've used it in doubles. It was on the first team that I won a Wi-Fi draft league in way back in Sword and Shield. I even played this as my main in Pokken Tournament. I don't know if anybody remembers that game, but it's an incredible game. It's an awesome fighting game. At one point way back when, I was one of the best Chandelures in the entire country. So yeah, it was just really cool. The Pokemon is just so awesome. I love it a lot, and I have used it a lot. So it has an incredible shiny. I have shiny hunted this Pokemon in every Pokemon game that I have ever had. I'm still working on that in ZA. I'll get there when I get there. But yeah, this Pokemon just is awesome, and I love it a lot, and I'm really looking forward to this one. However, something else I love a lot is my beautiful, amazing wife, because Halloween is this week, but also this week is my anniversary, so shout outs to you. So it was actually yesterday because I'm going to be putting this video out on Friday, so shout outs to her. She's been with me and stuck with me for 15 years, been married for 7 of those, and I love you, and I thanks for sticking around with me. Love you, babe. So anyway, you see the rules on screen. All the niche kind of stuff is listed down below in the description. Let's go ahead and get into it and see how the Chandelure-line does in Pokemon Black and White. As usual, I'm going to preload my Pokemon into the run before it begins so I can change my nature, IVs, you know, all that fun stuff. And as we get into the battle with Bianca, we're going to see I also made it shiny. Look at him. He's so cute. It's awesome. So this is going to lose this time every single time it's sent out into battle because of that little shiny sparkle. But we'll touch on that more later. So as we face off with Cheren here, let's break down what we're working with here today. So Litwick has a pretty solid 65 base special attack. This is pretty decent for a first stage Pokemon. 55 in both defenses and 50 HP is not bad bulk either, and especially once we get to the Eviolite, we'll actually be taking hits decently well. And we're gonna have to because we have an absolutely horrendous 20 base speed, so that's not great, and giving me flashbacks to some things like Ferrothorn and the Reuniclus lines. Yeah, both had their own problems with speed, and yeah, we're gonna be stuck with Litwick for quite a while, so not fantastic. However, we have a fantastic type combination in Ghost and Fire. Offensively, they cover each other very well. Very little resists them, and defensively is pretty good too. So we have a lot of good immunities, great resistances, so I'll definitely take that. As well as our ability Flame Body. So Flame Body means that anytime a Pokemon makes contact with us, think of like a Patrat using Bite, we have a 30% chance of leaving them with a burn, which is pretty useful. Our other option was going to be Flash Fire, but for one, we don't face off with that many fire types in the main story, and you know, it's just not going to be that useful because the AI sees our ability and it's not going to be going for fire types anyway, fire type moves anyway, so there's that. As for our level up moveset, we are going to be starting off with Ember, Astonish, Minimize, and Smog. So we do ban Evasion outright, so Minimize is not going to be used at all today. However, we get to start with 2 stab moves. More importantly, of course, is going to be Ember because that's using our higher special attack, but Astonish is still pretty useful, so why not? As we level up, we get pretty much all the things that you'd imagine. We get Confused Ray, Nightshade, Will-O-Wisp by level up. It's pretty useful. But we also get Flame Burst, actually surprisingly early, only at level 20. This is a pretty strong fire-type move for that point in the game, and it's kind of be our go-to fire-type move for the rest of the game. And as we keep going through, we eventually will evolve up into Lampent at level 41. So this is a massive improvement on Litwick. First and foremost, we actually have a semi-usable speed stat at 55 base speed, so that alone is good. Smaller increase to our defensives, but a pretty big jump in special attack to 95 too. So level up moveset is everything the same, but looking at the TM side of things, it's kind of unfortunate for this Pokemon because all of the really good TMs that we'd want to use, like Calm Mind, Psychic, Energy Ball, Flamethrower, all of these are locked to the post game, which definitely really sucks. So as for the main story stuff, we can get Shadow Ball if we're not that level yet, so that's pretty useful. Solar Beam, we can go with the physical if we want to with Flame Charge and Return, but yeah, TM side of things, not going to be really that big for this Pokemon. However, once we eventually get to a Dusk Stone, we are going to be evolving up into Chandelure, and this Pokemon is fantastic. Just look at those stats. This is ridiculous. First off, we have 80 base speed. Very usable. That's usually more than enough for us to get through the back half of this game. But 145 special attack. That is absolutely ridiculous. This is the highest special attack at this point in the series of any non-legendary Pokemon. And yeah, this is just a huge payoff for us. Of course, though, it is a stone evolution, so we gotta make sure that we know that we can only ever learn these 4 moves by level up, and they're all relearn moves too. So yeah, Chandelure is going to be a massive payoff for us, and that's going to be great. So let's go ahead and hop back into the run. We did go to the Dream Yard before we faced off with Cheren, so just a little bit of extra experience, and we're not going to grab our monkey just yet. Before we face off with Cheren, I'm going to stop by the Pokemon Center, deposit my Tepig just in case we have to do some blackout training on our first gym leader, and then we can face off with Cheren. Thankfully, Cheren's actually no problem. We are a much higher level. Sure, we only have Astonish and Confuse Ray to really do anything against him, but we can easily win this fight and head into the gym. As we make our way through the gym, I am going to be learning Nightshade as well, so this is going to actually give us some more consistent damage based on our level against you know, some of the resisted Pokemon like the Pampor we're about to fight. So let's go ahead and face off with our first gym leader. Alright, let's do this, Crass. So he leads off with the Lillipup. We can just use Ember against that. Doesn't look like it's quite going to be a 2-shot, and he has the chance to flinch with Bite. So we're at 13 HP. I'm not looking great right here. I'm going to Confuse Ray into a Nightshade, into double hit itself in confusion so I can finish it off with 2 Nightshades. That was insanely lucky. I did not deserve to win that first try, but hey, we take those. That's awesome. So definitely paying him back for those couple of flinches that we got earlier on in the fight. So anyway, let's go ahead, head into the Dream Yard, beat up a couple Plasma dudes, get Fennel her science stuff, and then we can move on towards Route 3. As we make our way out of town, though, I'm going to stop over here and grab the bomb mushroom. So this sells for quite a good chunk of change later on, and we're definitely going to be needing it because we are going to be making quite a few expensive purchases throughout this run. So we're getting a lot of money this time around. So after I deal with the twins right here, we're going to head into the preschool. They give pretty decent experience, and I also get to learn Will-O-Wisp along the way, so that's pretty useful. And then we can face off with Cheren. So thanks to Nightshade actually giving us some good consistent damage, we can power through his Oshawott very easily and then chase the plasma dudes into Wellspring Cave, clear them out, get a couple HM friends, and we can head towards Nacrane City. After Cheren hooks us up with some Chesto Berries, we can head over to this house and talk to this girl where we can tell her we got a Tepig and get the Charcoal. So Charcoal is going to be a fantastic held item for us, boosts the power of our fire type moves by 20%, so not half bad. And with Flame Burst on the horizon, that's going to be a huge power boost for us. So I'm going to head into Pinwheel Forest, grab ourselves a Temple, and clear out a couple of trainers in here. Pretty much the only one that I usually battle that I'm dodging is Kita with his 3 Temples. That's not going to be very feasible for us to do with only Nightshade, which kind of sucks because he's probably the best experience in this entire forest, and there's that. So we're going to battle the nurse just to set up that healing spot and top off before we head back to the Pokemon Center, deposit our team, and then face off with N as we enter into the gym. We do cut it really close, way closer than I ever wanted it to, but we do get the first try win, which is pretty nice, and we can head into the gym and face off with some gym trainers where we do learn Flame Burst onto the first one. So this is going to be a massive upgrade for the rest of the game pretty much. None of the other gym trainers give us any problems, thankfully, and we can face off with Lenora. So Lenora, normal type gym leader, we're a ghost type. You think it would be easy? Nope, she has Bite, and yeah, Bite definitely really sucks for us. We are able to beat the Herdier somewhat consistently, able to two-shot that pretty regularly, but yeah, we're just going to be doing good old classic Lenora Blackout grinding. However, there is a big problem with Bite, and that it has the chance to flinch. And multiple battles in a row, I just get flinched, so I can't even get the experience off the Herdier, which really sucks. So let's go ahead and skip to the winning attempt. Alright, let's do this. Lenora, she leads off with Herdier. I'm going to go straight for that Flame Burst. Does a critical hit, one shot. Let's go. Hypnosis misses. Crunch, we easily tank that. And there we go. Our win right there. So, you know what? I will take it. I got flinched 3 times in a row to lose out on some experience. So, yeah, that crit was just payback. Why not? So, anyway, let's watch the Plasma Dude steal a random skull for some reason and chase them into Pinwheel Forest. Pretty usual Pinwheel stuff. I'm actually going to avoid the Herdier trainer. We had such a problem with Lenora's Herdier, and that one has Bite as well, so I just don't want to deal with any of that. So, yeah, we're going to make our way through, clear out the trainers on the bridge so they're out of the way whenever we get back here for a rare candy, cross that gorgeous Skyra Bridge, and head into Castelia City. As we enter into the big city, I'm going to actually stop by the Pokemon Center and just go right back out. This is going to just set up my blackout point just in case for some safety, because we're going to be heading into the Battle Company here to do a whole bunch of extra training. So there is quite a few trainers in here that give great experience. Unfortunately, the one that I can't really afford to do right now is the guy with the 3 Basculins, which really sucks because he is definitely the most experience-rich trainer in pretty much this entire section other than Berg himself. So I am actually going to go to the top floor because of that. You know, I usually don't bother going to the top floor, but the trainers up here are pretty easy and we can get that extra experience from them before we head out of the Battle Company here and stop by the back alley where we get flashed by some old dude and get the TM for Flash. So also something that I don't get very often, so we'll see where that comes into play later on. And then we can go straight to the gym, clear out a couple plasma dudes on the side street, and just burn down all of the gym trainers on our way to Berg. All right, let's do this. So we are so overpowered thanks to all of that extra training that we did. One shot onto that. Dwebble does outspeed and hit us with a smackdown, but that is not going to be enough from stopping us from just absolutely roasting that Levani right there. We get to level 28 and learn Hex, so we now actually have a normally damaging ghost type move, so that's pretty cool. We'll touch on that more here in a little bit, but after we get our third gym badge, we're going to head out of here. On our way out of Castelia City, we're going to stop by the skyscraper and grab the Eviolite, so we obviously didn't really need this for Berg, but going forward, I'll definitely take that bump to our defense. Bianca in the gatehouse. Even though I do run out of flame bursts for her Surfine, I easily am able to win this fight, and we can head into Route 4. I'm going to heal up at the house, of course, and then actually do a little bit of risky training over here on the fisherman. So thankfully, even though I did save, we don't have to reset to them. We can get that nice juicy experience, and also pretty importantly speed EVs, so that's pretty cool. After all of that, we're going to top off one more time in the house and then face off with Cheren. Back-to-back videos, we are going to be talking about Route 4 Cheren. This can be pretty difficult for some Pokemon. Not the Pit of Dove, that just drops you a single hit. Then we're going to go for Hex onto the Dewott, and his Citrus Berry pushes him out of a 2-shot range. So we are going to go for a Confuse Ray into a Will-O-Wisp, and this lets us power up Hex. Hex is a very unique move, where if the opponent is affected by a status condition like that burn, it is doubled in power. So unfortunately, I don't have enough gas in the tank to win that first fight, but also unfortunately, Generation 5, Hex is only 50 base power as opposed to 65 in later generations, but that's still a pretty significant increase to base power. And you know, even though we're not going to be using this combo very much, because as made infamous by Aaron Cybertron Zhang, we see that Will-O-Wisp is terrible. It only is 75 base power or 75 accuracy, excuse me, in this generation. So we lose that fight. So third time's the charm. Let's see how it goes. So we are going to go for our Flame Burst, easily drop the Pit of, no worries there. Confuse Ray into a Will-O-Wisp. We do land the Will-O-Wisp, and then you've got that powered up Hex as we take one Razor Shell to bring us at about half. We do get flinched by the Pansear, which is definitely really unfortunate, but thankfully we have just enough HP left with 3 HP to live the pursuit and finish off the Liepard with a Flame Burst, cutting it way too close right there, but hey, we still got the W. Let's head into Nacrene City. Did I say Nacrene? You knew what I meant, Nimbasa. So we're going to chase off the Plasma guys, get a bike from some old guy, have a quick chat with Bianca, and then we're set free. So I'm actually going to stop by Anvil Town to grab the rare candy here early. Usually I grab this on the return trip to Nimbasa for the story, but sometimes you want to use a rare candy in the mid-game, and this is one of the quicker and easier ones that I've found to grab. So as we make our way back to Nimbasa, I'm going to grab the HM for strength and then head out towards Route 16 to do a bunch of extra training. So our stats are definitely falling off right now, and as we meet up with N for a lovely little Ferris wheel ride date, and we battle him, we definitely see why. This battle, we cut it crazy close, way closer than it should have been, but we still do get a first try win, which is pretty nice, and we can head into the gym. None of the trainers give us too much hassle, just a little bit annoying with like some of the paralysis shenanigans that they get us into, and that we can face off with Elisa. Alright, let's go, Elisa. So she leads off with the Emolga. We have no chance of ever hoping to outspeed any of her Pokemon. And Flame Burst is still not quite enough. However, we are tanking these hits very well. As she Volt Switches into the Zebstrika, I am able to actually tag it with that Will-O-Wisp, and then the boosted Hex just gets the one shot, and all that's left is the Emolga. Just gonna waste our time a little bit with some heals, and there we go. On 16 HP in the red, we still get that big win first try. Let's go. So just barely enough gas in the tank right there for little Litwick to get a first try win against Elisa. Let's head out towards Route 5 and face off with Cheren. If Route 4 Cheren's going to be a problem, probably his Route 5 fight is going to be as well. As we see, Liepard just barely lives the Flame Burst, so we have to finish that off with a Hex. Sets up a Torment, but that's okay. We can go for that Confuse Ray into Will-O-Wisp, into Hex combo to knock out the Dewott, bringing in the Pansear. Now, you may also notice that I did not restore my PP, and that is actually by design. I want to black out right here. We are in desperate need of experience because there is no chance that I'm going to be facing off with Clay as a Litwick. And this battle actually gives pretty decent experience, but more importantly, it also gives us really good EV investment as well. So the Liepard, now that we're level 35, we're going to see that I'm able to knock that out a lot more consistently, and that gives us 2 speed EVs, which is very good. The Watt's going to come out. I'm going to set up that Confuse Ray. We get to skip Will-O-Wisp because it burns itself and knock that out, and that gives us 2 special attack EVs. The Pansear as well, if we can knock that out, is going to also give us speed EVs, and then Tranquil gives attack, but that's not really that important. So this gives good experience, good EV investment, and yeah, it's actually deceptively good. So let's go ahead and skip to the winning attempt. Liepard's going to drop to a single Flame Burst. That's really nice. Brings us to 36. We're going to go for Confuse Ray. Flame Body triggers again onto that Razor Shelf. Hits itself in Confusion, so Hex is going to knock it out. Do get flinched and then yawned by the Pansear, so that's definitely really annoying, but we can knock it out over 2 turns, and then we are pretty high health enough to live the Tranquil attacks, wake up, and knock it out with a Flame Burst. Definitely expected to be there a little bit longer, but that's okay. It just means that we have to pick up a couple extra trainers after we beat up the toddlers right here, like the Sigilif guy over here. It gives pretty good experience and even more special attack EVs, and then we can head into Driftvale City. We head down to cold storage, grab the PP up in the trash can, pop an ether, then go over here and grab the ether as well as the protein. So why am I grabbing the protein though if I'm a special attacker? Well, as I said much earlier, we're going to need a lot of money in this run, and vitamins actually sell for a good amount. So I'm going to be picking up a couple of those along the way that I'm not necessarily going to use. As we make our way through, I'm going to pick up a couple extra battles. The plasma dudes in the back thankfully are no problem. We do drop a safety save before this little mini gauntlet and cut it close a little bit against one of the demon watchdogs, but other than that, no issues. Then we can head towards the gym. As I make my way through the gym, I am going to drop a safety save in front of the Krokorok guy, and it's a really good thing that I did, because after I beat him, I'm going to battle the guy with 3 Pokemon, and I actually black out here due to just terrible luck. So I do go back 1 trainer, but after that, I'm just going to go battle the other guy because I have just enough experience after I beat the last trainer to dump those 2 rare candies that I have and evolve up into Lampent. Very nice. Experience just worked out just right. Let's go ahead and face off with Clay. And with the new power of Lampent, we can easily outspeed this Krokorok, go for a Flame Burst, and knock it out. Palpitoad, Hex is going to be a 2-shot, but it just sets up an Aqua Ring. And we even have enough speed to outspeed the Excadrill and drop it with a single super effective Flame Burst, winning us our 5th gym badge. I am so glad that we got the experience to pan out just right for that. Sure, we had to do a ton of optional training, but it was very worth it because, yeah, there was no way Litwick was winning that fight. So let's go ahead, grab some Max Repels and Hyper Potions on our way out of town. Bianca's going to stop us. She is no problem whatsoever now that we actually have some decent stats on our side. Let's head towards Chargestone Cave. As we head downstairs, we're going to grab the nuggets from the Nugget Brothers, and then the gauntlet is going to be pretty much completely free, so no problems there. And on our way out is no problem at all. He does have a Boldor that is always going to live at least 1 hit, but no problems, and Flame Burst is just going to finish off the rest of his team very easily, and we can head into Mistralton City. As we climb the tower to go retrieve Skyla, I'm going to pick up a couple extra optionals right here, like the Musharna and the Duosian Psychics. They give really good experience and special attack EVs, so I will definitely take that. Heal up at the Fatfish Nurse, and then meet up with Skyla at the top. At the top of the tower, we can ring that bell to send Skyla back to the gym, and it lets me say, hey, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. My goal is to try to hit 500 subs by the end of the year. That would be awesome, and of course, I can only do that with your help. I do these Pokemon solo challenges in black and white at least once a week, so plenty of stuff for you to watch. I got a whole catalog and playlist built up. So yeah, nothing in this gym is going to give us any problems, so let's power on through and face off with Skyla. So Skyla could potentially give us some trouble. Her Swoobat right here does love going for Amnesia, but it just does no damage. And yeah, Swanna as well can do a lot of damage, but it just loves setting up Aqua Ring sometimes. So yeah, we just get a nice easy win. So yeah, you'll love to see it. So yeah, definitely was a little bit worried about that fight, but nice and easy. Skyla be Skyla sometimes. Let's get shot out of the cannon and go meet up with Cheren at the foot of Twist Mountain. Now that we're evolved, Cheren shouldn't be as bad. We just still don't quite have enough power to one-shot his Unpheasant right here, unlike we did with Skyla's. And Dewott we can actually two-shot with Hex. However, we get confused by a Water Pulse, smack ourselves in confusion twice in a row, and yeah, we just take a reset. Good thing I saved, though. Next time around, we don't get nearly as unlucky, and we can easily power through the rest of his team, see Alder's wonderful bionic legs, and head into Twist Mountain. I'm not really going to do a whole lot in here. I will pick up a couple really good experienced trainers like the Battle Girl and the Swoobat guy, as well as catching a Boldor, because I forgot to grab a strength user. Normally I grab a Roggenrola really early on, but yeah, I kind of forgot to do that. So yeah, Boldor joins the team to be our strength user. I'm gonna pick up another Nugget, battle the Excadrill guy for a PP up, heal up at the doctor, and then we can pop out on the other side at Icarus City. As soon as we get into Icarus, we can head into the Pokemon Center and talk to this guy who will double our profits on selling these nuggets. He just gives you more money for items like this. And what are we going to do with all that money? We're going to grab our first big purchase, the TM4 Fire Blast for 70 grand. Yeah, definitely going to need a lot of money in this run. So yeah, after that, obviously the gym is going to be completely free. We're just going to power through with a whole bunch of Flame Bursts and face off with Bryson. Say it with me, folks. Bryson is an absolute joke, and he definitely is here today. One Flame Burst for his lead, one for the Beartic. Caragnal does have amazing special defense, but not enough to stop little man Lampent from just going to town. We get that 7th gym badge. Let's head into Dragon Spiral Tower. Alright, and it's time for story time, which I'm going to be joined by a very special guest. Say hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm your wife.
So, what do you think about Chandelure, babe?
It's cute.
It's cute. Just cute.
I mean, I liked it when it came out, so yeah, it's cute.
Just cute.
Because Litwick's my favorite.
Litwick is your favorite. I have a Litwick plushie. Should I put a picture of the Litwick plushie in there?
Yeah, it's in the kids' room.
Is it? Wait, no, I thought it was up there.
No, you put it in
Did
the
they
bag.
steal my Litwick plushie?
You put it in the bag.
You jerks. Whatever. So, I think everybody wants to know how the hell do you deal with me, and how have you managed to stick with me for 15 years?
Because you deal with my bullshit and my animals and my craziness.
That's it, huh?
I mean,
That's
I love you, but you deal with my bullshit.
I love you, but, huh? What's the but?
Because you drive me crazy and you're making me do this. And you know I don't like this.
Oh, but this is so much fun! Come on. It's so fun to talk to random people on the internet,
No,
isn't
it's
it?
not. You're better off with Lexi.
Maybe I'll give her a cameo later or something like that. So
Her birthday.
maybe we'll see. Yeah. 15 years. What do you remember? What our first date was?
Taco Bell and Walmart.
That's how you get the good women, guys. You gotta take her to Taco Bell and Walmart with like your $20 that you have because you're a poor piece of shit. Yeah, I love you, baby.
I love you. Is it smart to say that with me on your lap?
I don't know. It might be. It might not be. Well, I guess only time will tell, right? So yeah. Thank you for joining me, baby. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the video now. Do you have anything else to say to the big wide world?
No.
No? Nothing?
No, because I don't like being on videos.
Alright, fine. One last question. Reshiram or Zekrom?
I don't like either.
You don't like either? Come on. Oh, so you're a Kyurem. You like Kyurem.
Keldeo.
No, the dragons, Goober.
Well, then
Kyurem. No, she's a weird one. Alright, that's gonna be enough. Let's go see Ben's wonderful little dragon, which apparently she doesn't like. And we're gonna wrap this up. I love you. Mwah. As we come out of the tower, I am going to make a quick pit stop back into Mistralton City because I forgot to grab something first time I came through, and that is going to be the TM for Sunny Day. So another 50 grand down. Yeah, we are spending so much money this run. So then we are also going to be flying to Driftvale because we are going to be making another stop at Mistralton Cave. So this is also why I grabbed Flash. I can navigate this. I know it somewhat well, but I didn't really see the need to. Maybe later on in future runs, if I ever come back here, I'll just, man up and do it. But there's plenty of good stuff in here. It's just really far out of the way, like a couple more vitamins. But most importantly, the Dusk Stone in the deepest part, which is, of course, what we need to evolve up into Chandelure. So that's fantastic. We're not going to use it quite yet, but we're also, for the first time, going to be grabbing the rare candy in here. Once again, this candy is so ridiculously far out of the way that it's almost never an option for me, but it's still pretty cool to be able to grab this for the first time, and there's even a Carbos behind it, so that's pretty neat. So I did forget to grab an escape rope in one of my Mart trips, so I do have to run out of here, but that's not really that big of a deal. Let's head back to Nimbasa City and continue on into the desert. As we enter into the desert, we have to reset our rappel, but that also lets us use our Dusk Stone to finally fully evolve up into Chandelure. Let's go. Just look at that shiny. Just gorgeous. Mwah! Love it. Beautiful. So I'm also going to take the opportunity to teach Fire Blast. I don't really feel the need to hold on to Confuse Ray at this point, and we will also be upgrading very soon because as we get through the gauntlet right here, we're going to grab the TM for Shadow Ball. So we have some of our best stab type moves in the game right now. So we meet up with Getsus on the bottom floor, get lectured at a little bit, and then we're set free to go back to Nakarine City, get a funny looking rock, and then we can head into Pinwheel Forest. Before grabbing the rare candy though, we are going to be picking up the TM for Solar Beam, so that's going to be really fun. So we don't have a lot of coverage, but hey, Solar Beam is pretty dang cool, and it's going to be pretty useful for us in some of the later fights for sure. So after all of that, let's head out towards Route 8 and meet up with Bianca. Alright, Bianca, you are not ready for this. So let's go Chandelure and torch it all down. Flame Burst onto that is just going to drop. We got Shadow Ball now for that Semaphore. That's going to go down. Musharna. I'm just going to go for Hex because, lol, why not? I even get a critical hit. cool. And then Flame Burst onto that Superior. You'll love to see it. So we're going to go ahead and meet up with Getsus and his ninjas on the bridge before we can head into Route 9, where of course we are going to be stopping by the shopping mall. In here, I am going to pick up one more PP up, and then I'm going to be selling all of those proteins and PP ups and extra stuff that I picked up along the way to actually get irons. So Chandelure has insane special attack. We don't actually need the help in that department, but these irons are going to be really useful to take some physical hits later on in these last few fights. So we're not able to get maxed out iron because, you know, we have just spent so much money, but this is still going to be really nice for us to have. So let's go ahead, head into Opelucid City, no problems as we make our way through the gym, and let's face off with our final gym leader. Alright, let's do this. Iris, she sends out Fracture. We have a 145 base special attack stab Shadow Ball that's just gonna actually not one-shot the Draudigan. Very interesting. We get another critical hit with Hex, and that finishes it off, though. That's just hilarious. Shadow Ball into the Hacktorus is going to pick up the one-shot, though, so very nice, easy peasy. 8 gym badges down. Let's head out towards Route 10, do a little bit of extra training, and then face off with Cheren one last time. Alright, let's go, Cheren. He leads off with the Unpheasant. We have plenty of power. Just go for a Flame Burst and knock that out. Samurot's going to come out. We're going to go for a Shadow Ball. And it lives! Hits a Torrent-boosted Aqua Tail into an Aqua Jet and knocks out Chandelure. I did not save for this. I didn't expect this to be a problem, so unfortunately, we take a very painful, slow blackout right here, which really sucks. Let's go ahead and skip to the next attempt. Alright, second time around, Unpheasant's just gonna waste our time a little bit with some Flame Burst before it goes down. Samurott, now that we know we can't quite one-shot it, we're just gonna soften it up a little bit as it just misses Aqua Tail. Sure, why not, man? Damn. That definitely really sucked, but hey, what you gonna do? You can always improve these runs, and that's just one point that we maybe can improve on in the future. So, after we get a nice free heal, we're going to do a whole bunch of extra training in Victory Road. Thankfully, no problems, as well as picking up a rare candy along the way before we pop out at the League at level 58. Of course, we're going to start off with Caitlyn. We have no need for an expert belt or anything like that. We are plenty strong enough to hit some super effective Shadow Balls just to drop all of this stuff. Sigilift's going to come out. It is fast, but not fast enough. And Gothitelle is pretty bulky, but also not bulky enough. Easy. First member down. Let's go. Second verse, same as the first. For Chantal, we have Stab, super effective Shadow Ball. 1 for the Cofagrigus goes down. Golurt comes out. That's going to drop as well. Jellicent can kind of throw a wrench into things with Curse Body. Thankfully, we don't do that this time, and we win the mirror match. We get to prove that our beautiful shiny Chandelure is superior. Moving on. Marshall can definitely throw a wrench into things because Throw is really bulky and we have to hit Fire Blast, which of course Chandelure does. Sock does have Sturdy as well, but it does not crit the Stone Edge, so we're easily able to two-shot that. And then Shadow Ball is enough for Conkeldurr, and of course the Mienshao in the back. You'll love to see it. First try Marshall, no problems there. Moving on. Last but not least, of course, is going to be Grimsley, and once again, we have to land some Fire Blast, which we do onto the Scrafty. Crocodile, I actually think that Flame Burst would have been enough to knock it out, but my note said hit Fire Blast, and I did, so that works too. Flame Burst, of course, is going to finish off the Bisharp and the Liepard in the back, and there we go. The League is down, all first try victories. That is just fantastic. Let's head downstairs and see how Alder is managing with N. N summons his gigantic castle out of the ground, somehow, And it's going to be up to us to chase him down through because Alder just couldn't deal with him. Come on, old man. We got to get you up and up to snuff, man. Yeah, that Volcarona just ain't cutting it. You need an even stronger fire type like my Chandelure. So as we make our way through the castle, I'm going to grab one final rare candy in N's room before we face off with the man himself in the throne room. By having a full party, we can deny add Execrom to it so we can lead Reshiram versus the actually best fire type in the game, Chandelure. 2 Shadow Balls is going to finish that off, even though it did crit me with a Fusion Flare. Caracosta misses the Stone Edge. Let's go. I definitely thought I was going to be there for quite a while thanks to that. And there we go. One more for the Archeops. Clink Clink's going to come in, but I know that's a Zoroark. And unfortunately, as you noticed, we don't have Flame Burst anymore. We gotta hit these Fire Blasts, but Chandelure, she's got my back. We do miss one on the Vanillix. No big deal. It did nothing, and that's just going to go down. You'll love to see it. Easy first try win against, and we did get a little bit lucky there, but hey, they were just paying me back for that crit Fusion Flare. Anyway, Gats is going to throw his little tantrum, and then it's going to be up to us to take him down. Alright, let's do this, Getsis. I do not care about your toxic shenanigans today. Shadow Ball easily is going to drop that Cofagrigus. In comes the Bouffalon. I am going to set up Sunny Day as we easily tank an Earthquake, and now we have to hit some Fire Blasts. We do get Sunny Day's Solar Beam for the Seismitoad to easily drop that. Bisharp comes in, Fire Blast for that. One more! We need this Sun Boosted Fire Blast, and we miss on the Hydreigon, so we are not able to one-shot it on the following turn, and we take a very slow blackout. Oh, that is just so unfortunate right there. Yeah, that just really sucks. There's no other way around it. Let's go ahead, blackout right here, and come back for the rematch. Alright, let's go, Getsis. Second time is the charm. No more third time the charm this run. Let's go ahead, just back this up on the second time. Sunny Day onto the Bouffalon, easily tank the Earthquake again. One Fire Blast goes down. Seismitoad, we got that Solar Beam on lock. That's going to drop as well. Get to level 67 too, why not? Fire Blast onto the Bisharp, that goes down. Moment of Truth! And there we go, the one shot with the Sun Boosted Fire Blast, and then one more just for good measure against the Electros. Let's go. So really unfortunately we took that one last blackout right there, but hey, it is what it is. We're relying on an 85% accurate move, and Chandelure, she still didn't let me down. This was absolutely fantastic. I had so much fun playing this Pokemon in this run. So we're going to see our final in-game time here right now with 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 19 seconds. Real time, not in-game time. So yeah, that is just absolutely fantastic. 10 blackouts, 4 resets. Not the best stats in the world, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead, wrap up these credits, and rank this guy. And there we go, a final in-game time of 5 hours and 17 minutes. Very nice. And as we bring in the tier list, yeah, it's sitting down there into the C tier. However, you remember at the very beginning, we talked about it being shiny. So my initial plan was to do this Pokemon as the shiny for the video because I just love shiny Chandelure, and that was just what I wanted to do for the video. And then later on I would do another playthrough that wouldn't make it into the video, and that's what I would rank the video on, because we wouldn't be losing all of that time to being a shiny. However, our early game was so ridiculously good this run, I genuinely don't think that I can do better. So what I'm going to be doing is I went through and I tallied up every single time that animation played in this run, and that ended up being 185 times. So for roughly half a second every time we lost time to that animation, that adds up to 92.5 seconds. So I'm actually going to take the time that I have now, just subtract 92 seconds from it, and that is what I'm going to rank Chandelure as. So what does that end up being? 1 hour and 39 minutes, 47 seconds, and that even bumps it up into the C tier. If you don't like that I did this, I don't really care. It's my tier list. It's my favorite Unova Pokemon. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So yeah, play Chandelure yourself. It was a ton of fun, even though the early game is pretty rough with Litwick, but overall, I had so much fun with this, and I hope you did too. But it doesn't stop there, because if you are keeping up with Pokemon Legends ZA, you may know that Chandelure got a Mega, and that's right, we're going to be playing with Mega Chandelure to tag on at the end of this video, so let's go ahead and hop into that. So first and foremost, we have to talk about this gorgeous sprite. It was made by King of the X-Roads. Definitely go check out his stuff. He makes fantastic sprite work. He's done tons of them for like the Showdown project and stuff like that in this Generation 5 art style. It just does incredible work. Definitely go check out his Twitter link down below, and any other links that he has suggested. He just hasn't gotten back to me on Twitter. So fantastic sprite work. I did make the back sprite, quote unquote make the back sprite. Pretty much all I did was remove the face, and that's about it, because he just hasn't done a back sprite yet, but it was a nice easy one for me. This is 100% still his work. I didn't really do anything special. So anyway though, how did I do this? So I really wanted to make sure that Mega Chandelure and all Mega Pokemon that I potentially do in the future are locked to having to hold their items. So what I ended up doing is I overrided Giratina and just kind of changed the name of the Grisius Orb to the Chandelure-ite. So to obtain the Mega Chandelure form, I have to hold this item, otherwise it's not going to be that way. So I did have to go in and make some hex edits and stuff like that, so the Grisius Orb no longer type boosts any types, so if that's just easy for in the future, if I want to do another Mega Pokemon, I don't have to worry about that at all. So very easy, and by a consequence of this, we're not going to be able to see the level because it just doesn't track very well, so don't worry about that though. Chandelure's not gonna have any problem during this run. So let's go ahead and look at some of these stats. Holy crap, 175 base special attack. That is just absurd, and I love it. That is just so much power. So nice bump to defenses as well to 110. That's really nice. It's going to definitely help us live a few hits. But of course, as we're starting with a Mega Chandelure with this much power and actually getting some good moves right from the start, I don't think we're going to have any problems in the early game like we had before to even use those defenses. We also get a nice little bump to our speed to base 90. Not really going to matter for this, but in competitive, that's actually kind of a huge speed bump there. You jump over a lot of really important speed benchmarks. So I'm really looking forward to eventually being able to use this in competitive. So, however, for the ability, Pokemon Legends ZA doesn't actually have abilities, so we don't know what this is going to be in the future. So I just decided to kind of keep it as Flame Body. It's probably not going to really matter too much anyway, although I do have to mention that the speculated ability that is going to get is Shadow Tag, because if you didn't know, Chandelure's original hidden ability in the Generation 5 games that was never actually released was Shadow Tag. So definitely could be really interesting to have Shadow Tag Mega Chandelure in the future, and that would be just absolutely fantastic. So as a stone evolution, we do start with only these 4 moves and will only get these 4 moves, and we have the same TM learn set as well, so everything is going to go very much the same. So as we make our way through this early game, we are just going to absolutely slaughter everything. Bianca is completely free. We don't have to do the extra training like we did with normal Litwick, and we can go straight to facing off with Cheren, power right through him, all the gym leaders, and face off with Cress. So yeah, as you can imagine, with actually some good damage dealing moves, we just one-shot the Lillipup, and we are even able to two-shot the Panpour with Hex. No problems there whatsoever. So let's go ahead, head towards Nacrene City. One of the first big changes comes up right here after we get those Chesto Berries. I'm going to stop by the Pokemon Center and deposit my team right now. So I will have to fill in that last spot, but I think it'll be okay. But we are going to be going straight to the gym. We don't need the charcoal because obviously we can't change our item, and we don't need the extra training thanks to us having just insane stats. So, and it gave us a little bit of a problems early on, but no worries here today. We just get to plow right through them, and it's going to be the same for the gym right here. Lenora, however, is a little bit sketchy. We don't quite have enough power to one-shot her Pokemon, and even though Watchog gets a chance to put us to sleep, we are still able to win very easily, which is really nice, and we can move on into Pinwheel Forest. We are still going to knock out those trainers on the bridge because we will eventually have to come back here for that Solar Beam TM. It's going to be just about the same moveset wise, and then we can head into Castelia City. No need for any extra training, no battle company this time around. We are just going to clear out the plasma dudes right here, burn down the gym once again. Yeah, did you really expect Berg to be any problem when he was 0 issues before? Yeah, three flame bursts, everything gone. So there's that. And we can make it out towards Route 4. Remember how we had so many issues with Cheren on Route 4? Well, we get a just nice, easy first try win. This is just showing the complete dominance of starting with a Pokemon this insane in the early game. So let's head into Nimbasa City. Thankfully, N doesn't give us any problems either. Did you really expect it? We just have a lovely little Ferris wheel ride date, and we can head into the gym. Elisa, one shot all around with Flame Burst. You'll love to see it, and we can head out back towards Driftville City. Route 5 Cheren, yet another struggle point for us, is going to be 0 problems whatsoever. DeWatt's going to come out. It just drops to a single Hex. And of course, everything else is going to just die very easily. Tranquil doesn't even waste our time. You'll love to see it. So let's burn down some toddlers, head into Driftville. We are going to be picking up the same kind of high money items that we did the first time around because we're pretty much going to be picking up and buying the same stuff. So I think that my moveset throughout the game is pretty much just about perfect, so I'm going to be sticking to the same stuff as we go. So Clay, we didn't really struggle with him the first time. Palpitoad lives again, but no issues whatsoever, and then we can just make our way all the way through the Chargestone Cave, up the tower to send Skyla back to the gym, and yeah, only Swanna lives on Skyla's team, so that's no problem, and then we can head towards Twist Mountain. Once again, Cheren's very easy, no confusion on his Water Pulse, even though he does actually live Hex this time around. But yeah, no problems whatsoever with this fight. Simisear also lives, but it is what it is. So let's see Alder's wonderful bionic legs one last time, make our way through Twist Mountain. Nothing really extra this time around, though. And once again, we can just melt Bryson's gym. Did you really expect anything less from this absolute monster. So let's head into Dragon Spiral Tower. Only one story for you guys this time around, though, so we're just gonna head right to the desert, pick up our Shadow Ball TM. We don't need to make those giant detours that we did earlier going to Mistralton Cave, because of course we're a Mega Evolution. We're already fully evolved. So let's go ahead, meet up with Bianca one last time over on Route 8. Alright, so nothing really has changed too much. I am going to go for a Flame Burst, and the Stoutland actually lives because we are a significantly lower level than we were before. So I'm just going to switch it out to a Fire Blast. Shadow Ball is going to drop the Simipour as well as the Musharna, so no problems there. And then one more Flame Burst is going to finish off the Superior. Easy peasy. You love to see it. Let's go pick up some more irons. We actually get even less this time around because I couldn't go into like Mistral and get the vitamins and stuff there, so we have even less money to spend thanks to all of those high value items that we had to pick up in TMs and stuff. So there's that. So gym, of course, is going to be no problem whatsoever. Iris is completely free. We get all one shots this time around thanks to our higher special attack, so that's really cool. And then let's go ahead and face off with Cheren over on Route 10 one last time. He gave us trouble, but maybe we'll be able to make it happen this time easily. Alright, let's do this. Cheren, you gave me a blackout last time. Are you going to be the first blackout today? Fire Blast for that, because why not? Shadow Ball into the Samurai. It lives! Critical hits with an Aqua Tail, but thanks to our higher defenses, we actually tank that really well. So that's actually kind of crazy that not even Mega Chandelure had the power to knock out to that Samurott in a single hit. But hey, it worked out. You love to see it. So let's go ahead, head into Victory Road. We are still going to be aiming around level 58 whenever we get to the top of here. So I'm going to be picking up even more training along the way, like the Veteran with the 3 Pokemon that give special attack EVs. So she's fantastic, great experience and EV yields, and just even more. And then we are going to be popping out at level 58 at the League. I wish I could tell you that there was anything different, but yeah, this league actually plays out pretty much exactly the same than it was before. So I'm just going to throw all 4 of the battles on screen right now. You can see them, and let's go ahead and skip straight to the final fights of the game. Alright, let's do this, and he leads up Reshiram. We got Mega Chandelure. Shadow Ball is still going to be a 2-shot, and he even crits me with Fusion Flare the same way. Caracosta dodges the Stone Edge again. Yeah, this is just some very freaking deja vu going on right now. Kling Kling's going to come out. That is the Zoroark once again. Fire Blast is going to drop. Kling Kling, we do miss, but doesn't matter. Just hits a weak Thunderbolt. And Vanillux, I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball. It lives, goes for a Hail, doesn't matter. That's going to drop. You'll love to see it. Easy peasy. Gets us going to throw one last Tantrum, and then I am ready for some revenge. Alright, let's do this, Getsus. We are just about exactly the same. Gonna waste our time with a Protect. Shadow Ball's gonna drop. Bouffalant. We can tank this Earthquake even better thanks to our higher defenses. And then it's time to hit some Fire Blasts. Solar Beam onto the Seismitoad. That's gonna go down. Bisharp. One more Fire Blast just for you. Hydreigon. Wheel in the Fire Blast, and of course it's going to drop to that Sun Boosted Fire Blast. Did you really expect 175 base special attack to not be enough? Yes! You'll love to see it. So, unfortunately though, we do see that time is ticking away, and it just passed the 1 hour and 10 minute mark. So, we don't quite have an S tier on our hands, but I am still so happy that I did this. This was so fun, not gonna lie. So 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 15 seconds. flawless run. Mega Chandelure, of course, is not going to struggle at all in this entire game. So pretty much only the Hydreigon is like the only thing that could have had potential to knock us out, or Caracosta maybe. But yeah, that was about it, which is just crazy. This Pokemon's awesome. So anyway, let's wrap up these credits, see this tier list one last time, and let's go ahead and wrap this video up. And there we go, an absurd 3 hours and 56 minutes. Fantastic showing from Mega Chandelure. And we're going to bring in the tier list. Yep, it's sitting right there at the top of A tier. Could have maybe tweaked some things a little bit. I definitely think if I got a second run with this thing, I would have been able to cut out a lot more training potentially that I did, because I pretty much just followed the same exact route that I did with normal Chandelure with this. But this is mostly just an extra fun thing for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed it at the end. So once again, definitely go check out King of the X-Roads. He did a fantastic job with the sprites, and you know, shout outs to him. He just makes incredible art, and I love seeing it, and I love using it in these videos because it's just so easy and nice to use for Generation 5. So anyway, that is going to be it for me today. I know that this video has probably been long, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. So we have wrapped up Spooky Month, so we are going to be going back to kind of just, you know, mixing and matching with different Pokemon that I want to use. So next time, I think I earned a reward. Let's go ahead and play with a really powerful fighting type, Mienshao. I have really been looking forward to this one. It does evolve late, but if you know anything about Mienfoo, it's one of the best competitive Pokemon in the lower tiers, which is really fun. So really looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. Anyway, happy anniversary one last time to my beautiful wife. Thank you so much for dealing with me for so long. I love you so much. And for the rest of you, like, comment, sub, all that fun stuff. I love you all. Deuces.